All right. Well, it's Friday. We're back to things my dog has eaten and probably shouldn't have. Brand new podcast.
Does it include several adventurers like a nimble halfling played by Richard, who is called Scrimbleshanks? No?
And all the
I'm
bad
glad that
things that
didn't get eaten.
Scrimbleshank has eaten along the way. So we're back to some D&D using the BX or old school essentials. Whichever flavor you like. They're pretty much the same thing. We're down to Dion tonight, so our Stoltheim will end up staying behind in this village if you decide to push on forward. But who we do have tonight is Richard.
Oh, as I said, I am a nimble halfling called Scrimbleshanks who was not eaten by a dog.
He may ride a dog before it's all over. Jameis, who you got?
Okay, I have an issue in the character sheet, so I don't know what he is. I think something about racist and religion and something like that. Sounds about right.
Maybe a ranger to boot. And quite possibly an elf, but no one claims you.
All the R's.
It's the way of things. Bill, who you got?
Oh, I'm Bill. I am playing Radnor the Large. He is a level 9.5 magic user, and he is very large.
Yep, that tenth of a decimal place is just going to slowly be increasing over time. Very long time. Constantine, who do you got tonight?
Hi. My mic on?
No.
Hi, I'm Jenkins. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. We'll see who I fight today or if I just vibe.
He'll fight you for sure, and that is a thing. So, back to our Mystara game. Well, the company is touring around, checking out the provinces, trying to find out where the trails lead to a potential cultist or elder god that might be bringing about Armageddon. Or maybe they just really want to contact you about your car's extended warranty. You haven't found out for sure yet. But it's leading you through the provinces that you are now in control of. We ended in province 3 last time, where there wasn't a lot going on. The water that they use for feeding their animals and irrigating their crops seemed to be contaminated by something in the mountains that you have encountered before. Runoff from a nuclear core was the last time you saw this. But you actually did some good. Galen shared the formula for some local herbs that tended to get rid of the worst of the pollutants in the water. So you did some good, which is completely out of character. I'm only envisioning that Scrimbleshanks is coming in behind everyone and burning the villages down after you do something good just to level out everything.
Nice.
You know, just to make it nice and neutral.
Do we get XP for all those people he kills?
No, you get negative XP for that because you're killing your own populace. You see. Richard wasn't with us last time, so Richard, that's the lowdown. They're just going from province to province. The trail of odd vegetation that they were kind of following along ended right before Radnar's province in 8, his tower, where they did find some folks that were passing around some cursed coins and did have the flea infestation going on.
I was there for that bit.
You were there for that bit. Okay.
I think so.
Were you? Did you listen to last week's episode?
I did as well, yes, but I thought I got to Radnor's place, and then...
Yes, no, you did. Then you shit yourself because
Radnor came to stop the fight. Yes.
Yeah, you spent that episode coming out of both ends, Scrimbleshanks.
All right, then I am definitely burning down this village. Nobody must know of my shame.
Okay, so we ended in 3. You guys decided to stay there overnight. Nothing terrible was happening here other than the pollution in the water, which, you've taken some measures to help with. So we'll just start off that morning then. They don't really have an inn, but there's floor space in the tavern that travelers can stay in to keep out of the wilderness tonight, or you're free to camp out, whichever you wanted to do. But the night goes by without any huge problems. Next morning, folks are up early, working on their farms, tending to their beasts, and you're pretty much left alone. Each of these small villages you've come across are not very large in size or population. What did we say this one was? There was a tin mine here, I think. Oh no, this is the smorgasbord. There's a small tin mine, a little bit of copper, and they do a lot of logging and forestry and agriculture here.
I thought there was 5. We're in 3 now.
Yeah, it wasn't 3 the mixed bag of things?
I don't actually remember. You've got the other one with the notes, so we'll just go with whatever you do.
Why don't I actually open those notes up?
Document where we wrote.
No.
No.
Since nothing bad's happening here, we've warned them about it. We go on to 2. Nothing more to see here.
Open up the domain of Stoltheim and see what we have. Forestry and farming, primarily. So the tin and copper mine were in 5. So this is just forestry and farming in here.
Yeah, we may at some point, not right this minute, want to investigate the mountains and see if there is actually a nice easy path and if there's a source for this nuclear runoff. But at the moment, we got other worries to worry about.
I keep using that word. I do not think I've ever encountered it in all of my travels. Never ever.
Mountains. Well, there you go. We learn something new every day.
Yes, I looked into that one. Never mind.
Oh yeah, so no big surprises overnight. Everything seems to be exactly as you saw the last morning. So, you want to push on into another province? Do something differently? Okay, we're going to say Stoltheim is going to stay behind for whatever reason. Maybe he's increasing the population.
Burn the villages.
Yeah.
Someone has to stay behind to burn the villages. It's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. He's going to take care of his constituents. All right. 2 is a domain of a population of about 90, production of 3. So it doesn't have a lot in the way of production here. I will say this. Who is the most likely to have? No, we'll just say Galen, because Galen, you gave them some actual help in this village. They do tell you once you start talking about where you're going next and what you're looking into, any history of the area. They do tell you that the region to the south and west of them, they don't go in very much. They definitely don't cut trees down there, because there are a group of odd elves that live in this forest, and they're particularly keen to keep folks from cutting down their trees. They are particular. They don't look like Corelli elves. They're short of stature, sort of like the Corelli versus the high elves. But they tend to be nocturnal.
Well, maybe Lorax.
But they do tell you that don't cut down any trees if you're heading through the forest to the south and west. Deadfall is fine if you want to make fires out of deadfall. It's not a problem, but don't cut down a live tree. It will bring problems.
Okay. Jenkins, put down that axe.
Sure. I put the axe back in my back. I didn't even know I had it out. Sounds like me, though. Absolutely sounds like me.
All right. Mosey into 2.
Okay. The transition there, I mean, you don't have like a physical border. It just goes from rolling grassland. There's not this huge line in the ground that's like a mile wide. No, that's not there. You're moving from rolling grassland to low hills until you start seeing a very dense forest, very dark, very old forest, old growth trees. It's very clear that no one has been doing any logging through here. The logging through this area is pretty. That's one of the big ways people are able to produce money, is by logging. So there's always some sign of logging, like ruts in the ground where logs have been dragged to the nearest water source or carted away. So you see heavy wagon wheel imprints, that sort of thing. Nothing here. This is an old growth forest, very dense, very tall trees. Actually, the trees that are growing here are not quite the same if you've been seeing so far in other provinces. Most of those are new growth, young trees, like 100 years, maybe no more than that. These are different species. They tend to be darker foliage, and they're very old. Galen could kind of know by how they look. It's not suspiciously so. Like, these trees do exist elsewhere, Galen, but this is the first patch of them that you've come across here. Now, you can completely bypass the forest and just continue on to the lower part of the province and pass through. You've not come across any settlements. You've not come across even individual farmsteads anywhere. The grass here and the terrain is no different than back in 3. It's farmable land, but you don't see any small farmsteads here so far.
As we go along, I just want to take 10 minutes to open my site and just see if there's like a bigger presence of the goddess or something in the land, and that's why it's more.
So travel-wise, how are you getting closer to the forest? Are you staying further away from the forest? Like, where are you going through the province?
Ultimately, we want to end up at 1.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get to 1. So
you're just going to cut the shortest distance and go through the middle of the province then?
I guess so, unless people are going to complain.
All right.
Okay.
In which case, everybody make me saves versus spell, please.
Woo! Come on, fail. Made it.
Like this.
Spell.
Oh, where the hell's my cursor?
Yeah. Success.
Ah.
Scrimbleshanks, Galen both succeed.
Ooh.
Radnar succeeds. Constantine?
Dead on.
Oh, what do I roll if I'm asked?
Save versus spell.
Oh, that's easy enough. Give me a second. Ah, there.
Okay. With the exception of Jenkins, everyone feels kind of like a foreboding as you go near the forest. Like, you just feel unwelcomed. You just got this feeling that it's not a safe place. It's not overwhelming. You definitely can kind of override that, but you just have this feeling of just being unwanted. Galen, you open up your mystical site and look at it. The wood is enchanted. There is a spell that seems to envelop the whole of the wood. Likely what's giving you this feeling of menace. Jenkins, you will not set foot in the woods. You can think of every reason you want to sell it to yourself, but you will not set foot in the woods.
So no matter what I could do, there is nothing in my body that tells me to set foot in this woods.
You will not set foot in the woods. Nope.
And I light the woods on
You
fire.
are sure if you go into those woods, you will die. You are absolutely sure of it.
Hey, Ragnar?
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is, but I really don't like this forest. Everything in my body is telling me I don't like this forest. And no one lives around this forest or should live in that forest, so,
Would I have some kind of recognition that there was some kind of spell effect on him?
Well, it depends on what Galen tells you after he's opened up his own vision.
Okay.
Would I? I have previously. Oh, it was like, ancient enchanted forest in our lands. Huh, how about that?
All right, yeah. If he's sharing that information with you, certainly you know of spells that will cause people. I mean, they're used to a light touch of the spell would just make people see a place as just uninteresting, unappealing, and you just kind of avoid it because there's nothing exciting there. Stronger versions of the spell or complete aversion, you just won't go there, or you feel for sure that something horrible is going to happen there.
Hmm. See, I've had to scroll for a while. If you're so scared, there, Jenkins, of let's get rid of it. I use a scroll that probably she stopped working a long time ago because of water and that. Remove fear. I'll delete it from my character. After
If you
all
want
this
to,
time.
if you want to use that spell for this, I'll say it will counteract it. You still feel what
Yeah.
everyone else feels this point, Jenkins. Like
Mhm.
you don't feel wanted. You feel like it's a bad idea, but you can make yourself go in there.
Can I light a torch?
No.
Can you or should you?
Yeah.
I really want to go in the forest now because of this. And
Oh.
what are they hiding?
Galen. Oh, no, not Galen. I'm Galen. Red Nor, no fireballs. Okay.
Oh, just a little one.
No.
Okay.
But we do we still do we ever restock up on the continual light lockets? I don't think so.
Mm.
No, the great
No.
mage who made those has gone long.
And no one else can ever do them.
No, nobody
I
else is smart enough to think of them, apparently. So
I actually have continual light memorized a couple of times.
Yeah, well, I can cast it whenever I want. I can go.
Well, if
I'm
only
a
somebody
cleric.
got on doing it.
It's no fig jam continual light, but it works.
Yeah.
So
Under a continual light, we'll say. We'll go.
all right, so you guys are casting continual light on something to use as a light source. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it does illuminate. It doesn't look like the spell that you're seeing on the woods keeps light from happening. So yeah, it penetrates in. It's it's not darkened because of a spell. It's darkened because of the old growth canopy. It just intertwines and just cuts the sunlight out from hitting the forest floor. Because of this, you see a lot of moss and a lot of mushrooms sprouting from trees here and there. You only shade type vegetation grows or things that grow well with no light.
Okay. I want to do something which has never really come up before. I want to sing an old elven song of predictions of forests.
Okay.
I'll be translating for the others as he's singing it.
Actually, I think Rednor speaks Elven. Don't burn down the forest. The forest is great. Because if there are elves in here and they are trying to protect the forest, I'm sort of letting them know that, hey, I'm here to help. I'm on your side, pretty much. Yeah.
I don't like Fae.
Oh, just elves, not Fae.
I am here as a friend. Notice that my axe has a wooden handle.
God damn it! I'm becoming one of my characters from one of the games I run, and I don't know how to feel about that.
Okay. So again, that feeling of foreboding doesn't leave you, even with those of you that have made your save versus spell. Your light lights up as best it can because there's, this is a twisted, chaotic wood. There's lots of blind corners. There's lots of things to block light, but there's fungus growing. There's mosses. The ground is dense with woodfall and rotting tree limbs that are falling, rotting vegetation here and there. But it's not a bad smell. It's a very natural, loamy kind of smell. It doesn't smell like the smell of graves or putrescence. It's fairly fresh and earthy smelling.
It's a trap.
Probably.
Wouldn't you
So your
believe it?
singing doesn't seem to have any effect in anything other than it feels like your song doesn't emanate very far, almost like
Mhm.
the sound is being muted.
Oh,
Could the forest itself be generating this? Be protecting itself? Could it not be?
Possible.
magic. Possible.
Yeah. It's possible.
Okay. Well,
This is, oh no, the first side decided to get up on legs and walk off. Is that possible? Magic. That's the problem with magic. Anything becomes possible with magic.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah. Perhaps we'll pick up the pace a bit, guys, and sort of toot sweet our way through this.
Okay. Everybody, since you all can enter now, why doesn't everybody roll me a d6?
Everybody-
This is a notice check, so humans need a
Oh.
1, demi-humans need a 1 or a 2.
Oh,
How about a 3? I'll give you a 3.
Nope, I know nothing.
So you were told of elves that live in this wood, but as you're going through here, every step you make, there's a snap of branch and twig beneath your foot. You're leaving impressions everywhere, and you can't help but notice that there is no sign that anything else has crept through this forest floor, just morass of twigs and rotting wood. There are no paths. There isn't even movement of like animals as far as you can see, but the trail that you've broken from the outside edge of the forest to, just a little bit in is very clear and very visible.
I start trying to summon Tom Bombadil.
I cast narrated versions or extended version.
I start apologizing every step we make.
Sorry.
Well, sorry, didn't mean to break that branch. No, God,
sorry.
I caught on a twig. Sorry about that.
Unfortunately, on a horse it doesn't count, but I do have my boots of elven walking.
Actually, if you're wearing the elven boots, you still are leaving a path, but you're not breaking as much in the way of twigs.
Oh, no, I'm on a horse, so the horse is breaking the path.
Yes, there's that. And it is tight going on horseback. Like the woods are growing very close together. There are no real paths through here.
Okay. We see a cat.
The cat rules you all. You must bow in abeyance. Those who don't get peed on.
This is an 18-year-old cat.
Yeah.
Probably get peed on no matter what then.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is his colostomy bag.
Yeah. Let's say we go around the forest and say we went through it.
I mean, can we do that?
Yeah.
Can you do what?
Can we go around the forest? I mean, it might stretch across this whole hex for all I know.
Yeah.
Map
Let's
portion.
find out, shall we? Let's map the border of the forest.
All right,
Okay.
sounds good to me. I back out, apologizing. Sorry, didn't mean to disturb you. We're going now. Don't worry.
Sorry.
Yep. Oh, God, a bunch
Somehow step on
No,
brand new
sorry,
branches then, even though you're standing back where you came from previously. Sure.
Okay. You're getting to the deeper part of the wood. You have no idea how close you are to, say, the heart of the wood, but you're much deeper in. You, at this point, are going to have to get off your horses. There's just not enough clearance to keep from being hit by a branch. Your horses are very skittish already, and slow going. And do you dismount, or do you keep trying to ford your way through on your horses?
We're trying to forge our way out. We're trying to head for the boundary of the forest at this point.
Right, but you're trying to go out the other end, right? You're trying to get the breadth of it.
We're going back. We
Um,
can go around it. Go
we're
back
trying
by
to
the
head
cave.
to unfortunately, I can't really point on the map too well, but if you sort of picture us curving towards 4-5, the border between 4 and 5, picture us curving that way.
Okay, yeah. So you're essentially trying to back out again.
Yeah, well, still making some forward progress, but getting the hell out of the hex.
Okay. Give me some kind of marching order. Who's the front? Who's in the back? That's what I like to hear
I'll
about.
be front because
You're front and back. You've split yourself in two. All right, so you're ahead. Who's last? Who's lag?
I'm the tracker. I'm the ranger. So yeah, what you got for doing anywhere through this?
I guess
Yeah, I've
the
got
squishy
outdoors
wizard.
and tracking as skills and paranoia.
The squishy wizard's probably in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's me or Jenkins at the back. I guess. I mean, I can disappear. So I mean, I could be at the back.
I am in the middle.
Okay.
Protect the squishy wizard.
In which case, let me have Scrimbleshanks and Galen. Both of you guys roll me d6s, first and last.
I
Yes, this is the
see
first.
nothing. I
This
am
is the
surprised. I am
first.
completely taken by it.
I am.
Oh
also
my goodness!
so glad
Look
that we're
at you.
the two. You know?
Okay, the two of you are on your own. Go.
So just chalk it up to the fact that the wood is making you very paranoid, and so every shadow is something that causes scrutiny, and you just miss it overall. So as you're passing by, Galen, you miss it as you pass it. Scrimbleshanks misses it, and as the last of you kind of go by the area, what you have disturbed is a nest of sturges, bat-like creatures with
Sturges?
sharp blood-sucking beaks. As the last of you pass by, they're going to get a surprise attack on the group as they dive bomb, trying to
Sturges.
find targets. Yeah. Okay.
Level 1 Sturges.
I go 19 plus 2 to hit on the first roll. Okay, so here we go.
Okay, if we get taken out by Sturges, we're not mentioning that to anyone.
I mean, aside from the video evidence that is happening right now.
Each of you're going to basically get an attack of several on each of you, but I'm just doing one attack roll for the group. They have a +2. So the first one in the group is only an 8. So they fly about you, Galen. This is when you first notice them. We're going to say probably Radnar, you're next in the group. What is your AC?
5.
All right, so that hits. They need a 0. So 14. They need a 14, 12, 13. So yes, you are hit by several of them as they dive on you. You are fine, Constantine, as they just miss your character as they streak towards the tasty half man at the rear, which I'm pretty sure is going to hit
that
with
hits
a
me.
16. All right, so the two of you that got hit, I'm going to roll a d4. We'll start with Richard's character. Only one on you, so that's not too bad. One of them does launch at you. They do like a diving bomb. It gets right behind your neck, latches on, and you feel like the spike being driven into your neck.
Ah.
So it's going to do a D3, and it will stay attached until it is removed. So it drains 2 points of damage from blood loss there.
It's welcome to 2 points of damage. I mean, it can't have my hit points, but it can have 2 points of damage.
Also, it looks only like one latched onto you as well, Radnar. So
Okay.
that's not so bad as well. But again, you feel this
2 points of com damage?
piercing on the side of the neck, and because you are a huge fat man, the blood just goes everywhere. You take 3 points of damage as it buries its siphoning beak into the side of your neck.
Okay.
Now you are fully aware that you are walking right through a nesting lair of sturges. So this is going to be, let me go ahead and roll this real quick. Let's see how big the nest actually is. +3, so that's not bad. It's just a small nest. It's 5 of them total. So let's start at the top. Richard, roll a d6 for your side. Go ahead and start the initiative. Is anybody on your side casting?
No.
Okay.
I don't know, because I'm slowly looking up the book.
6. I go first.
Ah.
Well, first things first, the ones that are already attached to you, Richard, take 3 more points of damage. And take 1 more point yourself there, Bill, as the ones attached to you continue to draw blood out. The other 3 are going to try another attack run. Gonna have Galen's all plate mailed up, so let's just have one go on him. 11. The other 2 are going to go for Jenkins. One of them hits you. Yeah. So Jenkins, one of them has lodged onto your neck. Feel the back of your neck pierced as it drains you of 2 points of blood. So those of you that have taken damage so far, they're still on you. They're grasping you. They've dug their claws in, and their beak is like well shoved into your neck. You can feel that you're being juiced.
That's a way to put it.
Yeah. So there we go. So the 3 of them are on you, on particular members, and then 2 more are flying about looking for targets. Anyone with, there was no magic, so anyone with missile want to try something? No.
Nobody's missing, apparently.
Okay, so let's go to melee. Let's start with the folks that have ones on them. So Richard, so to try and detach it.
Yeah, I'm not. I am interested in detaching them, but I am interested in detaching one that is on somebody else because, I can't see what's behind
Hey,
me.
he can pull the one up. I'm probably right near him, so we can pull. Yeah.
Yep, that's perfectly fine. They're the size of bats. They're not very large, but they are disgusting animals. So yeah, if you want to attack the one that's on Bill's character, no penalty to it. If you roll really low, you might hit Radnar.
I mean, so what?
I can take it.
All right, so
use the magic decapitating blade. Just in case.
If only I had one. Snick a snack. Oh,
nice.
AC 0 for 4 points of damage.
That hits, and yeah, so you kill the one that's been sucking the life out of Radnar. They're not very tough. I mean, they just seem to be bats with extremely long proboscises. You want to return the favor, Bill?
Oh yeah, I'm going to take my +1 dagger of truth. And a silver dagger. Here we go.
Got a leg cramp.
Probably not.
Armor class 7, no, but you don't hit Scrimbleshanks either. It just misses as it kind of twitches to kind of avoid you as best as it can.
Hold still.
That's the 2 of you. Jenkins, you've got one attached to you. You can wait for someone to try and take it off you, or you can try to remove it yourself.
Rip it off like a small child.
Okay, well, make me a melee attack roll to get a hold of it.
Do I just roll strength for that?
Yeah, just roll a normal melee attack.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's a strength check. Roll an attack roll. You can use whatever weapon you want. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. I was just confused for a second there.
He says, so you miss. Like it's situated itself. Maybe Jenkins is particular muscle bound. You just can't stretch far enough. You're just not able to get a good handle on the bat.
It's on my back.
It
noses. It's in that weird spot on the back where you can't just get there. You will literally rip the skin off every other place but that.
That's exactly it. So Galen, what are you doing?
I am in fact going to cast a spell. It's not an attack spell, so it wouldn't have affected anything. Protection from evil, 10-foot radius.
Okay.
But a bonus 1 to saving throws against creatures, and creatures that attack get a -1 penalty is the main thing.
They do get a save though, right?
No.
13, 10.
Because it's an area effect.
Area effect.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes. They just get basically they're going to get a -1 to their attacks. That's it. That's all that's going to happen. Unless they are summoned creatures or something.
No, the 2 that are flapping around and haven't engaged with you, they just pass on. Your spell has that effect on them. They're not latched onto you. They're not bloodthirsty. They just go on. You still have to contend with the 2 that are sucking the life out of your friends. So next attack round,
what friends?
Jameis, go ahead and roll a d6 for your side.
4.
All right. What do you guys do? So 2 of you still have these nasty bat-like creatures stuck to you, Galen and Jenkins.
There's
Not
somebody
me.
here.
I want it off. I don't care if I literally have to run it backwards into a tree.
Oh, I like it. I tell you what, make me a melee attack roll.
Okay.
But here's what I'll tell you what's going to happen.
I like it. I like it already.
Alrighty.
Okay, you slam the back of your head into a tree, killing the creature, but also doing 4 points of damage to yourself. We'll split the
That's
damage
fine.
between you and the
Damage.
creature.
That's all good. It's all good. At the end of the day, there ain't much in my head anyway, so I'll be fine.
The creature's beak-like proboscis is still stuck in your back of your neck and is still squirting blood out, but the creature's dead.
It'll unlatch itself with time. At least it isn't as bad as it was before.
Nice.
Can we say that Jenkins has Stottleheim's +1 ring of regen for the moment?
I don't think he would have let him walk away with that.
I mean, we can
honestly.
give it to him after we're done.
Yeah.
With the fight.
Yeah,
So,
right.
That was purely descriptive. He's not losing any more health points.
Yeah. That's fine.
So Scribbleshanks is the only one with one left on him.
is there any way I can help by holding extra still or something?
It will make sure that you're not actually a target if they flub real well. You can do that.
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay,
I trust Radnor.
you hold as still as you
reason.
can. Who wants to remove Scribbleshanks'
I'll get
head?
it.
I mean, who wants to help Scribbleshanks?
I get it.
That
Here
was
we go.
fast.
All right. If this thing will actually work. Here we go.
Okay, you kill it.
Yay!
It was a small nest of these sturges. The other 2 just fly off, and the rest of them are dead as you wipe the blood off yourselves. They
Can I
burst.
actually yank the one out from his neck and stomp on it?
Oh, it's dead, but yeah, you can pull it off and stomp on it. That's fine. Jenkins, you slammed yourself onto the back of the tree, and so you hear a whispered word into your left ear. No one else seems to have noticed it, and in trade common or common speech, it says, "Apologize to the tree."
I look at the tree.
Roll me a d6.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna sound fucking crazy either way. I'm gonna just say that outright.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, it's a tree that talked to you.
That tree is a fae, or there's a fae in that tree. If there's a fae in that tree and the tree's not a fae, I apologize, Mr. Tree. But if it was a fae that wants me to apologize, you can go fuck yourself, you goddamn fucker. You fuckers killed my uncle, and he was the only fucking piece of life in my life that was good. You fuckers.
Roll a d6.
Wow.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, dude.
I don't like fae. I'm sorry.
What's your armor class?
What's my armor class? All right, let me actually check.
I feel the same about lizard men.
4. So probably not high enough to not take the hit. I don't care. I'd do it again.
Okay. You guys watch as Jenkins rails against the tree, apologizing to the tree, but telling anyone else who might be saying these words to go fuck themselves.
Radnor just laughs his ass off at that.
You hear the silent, not quite silent, but the sound of sounds like a bowstring. Piles of leaves to either side of Jenkins just kind of poof in the air, and then a third arrow sprouts on Jenkins' neck.
I fucking knew it! It's goddamn fae! I told you so, Jalen! It's fae!
Take 5 points of damage.
Oh.
Actually, no. Hold on a second. No, it's not 5 points of damage.
Side note, did we heal since last time?
No.
No,
Well, you would have
you're
healed
not
one plus your Constitution bonus from having a good night's sleep.
Okay.
Oh no, you're at full hit points after a nap. We've done that.
Yep,
Okay, so
that's right.
then-
That's right. We're just doing.
the other one.
We're doing the you sleep, you get it all back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, take. Hold on, let me find it.
Oh no, they've got Jenkins Bane weaponry.
Oh, it's all good. If
Yeah.
this character dies from something funny, it's funny, and I don't care, and I'll just make another. I have no
Take-
fear.
Take 10 points of damage.
That's much worse. Oh my God.
The arrow does hit you just like off center of your neck, and plunges in. The shaft is so very thin. The rest of you don't even notice it until you see like several inches away from Jenkins' throat. There's black feathers, and the shaft of the arrow itself is also black. And since you're mostly in a very darkened area with just your continual light spells as illumination, it's very hard to actually see. Where does that put you, Jenkins?
2 HP.
Okay.
Nice.
Plenty.
So, do you mind if I roll a wisdom check to see if I can control myself from running the fuck out of the forest immediately?
If you want to roll for that, that's up to you. But you can just choose to yes or no. But you do hear whispered in your ear, "No, fuck you."
Yeah, I look at Jalen and I say, if there's Fae or elves in here, you can deal with their murderous asses. The trees are cool. Trees are my homies. Fucking always deal with them nicely. But I am not dealing with Fae. Fuck that shit. I'm not ending up like my uncle. And I run out of the forest.
You were close to the edge of the forest when you ran into the Sturges, so Jenkins runs for it. There are no further arrows that fly after them, but as he runs, you all hear kind of like a dry, quiet chuckling, just like all around you. You guys can roll a d6. The rest of you.
All right, I'm going to light that torch.
It's not far. Like you can see sunlight ahead of you, Jenkins. You don't need a torch to get out.
Oh,
Radnor's still laughing his ass off, so.
Okay.
Oh, I know that. Wait, how wet is it? The forest?
It's fairly wet, actually, because
Okay,
there's
never
a
mind.
lot of lichen and mushrooms growing. Makes things moist.
Never mind. It's not good enough to burn down. Oh no, I would have burned down the entire forest just to kill some Fae. I'll do it again. I don't care.
But I thought the woods were your homies.
Yeah, but Fae, every dead Fae means that there's not another one to deal with.
Okay. So all of you failed the d6 roll. None of you got a 1 or 2.
Yeah, Radnor's still laughing too hard.
Okay.
To do
Yeah, so all of you kind of hear this. Like at first you just think it's the rustling of the leaves. But, it becomes very apparent that it's just dry chuckling coming just from all around you.
Uh-oh.
There's no more arrows being shot anywhere, as far as you can tell.
All right, come on, let's just. This is why people don't like dryads. How does they get out of there?
People don't like dryads? Oh. Note this down for later.
More dryads for you.
Yeah. I did actually have a plan for getting us out, but you said we're close enough there that we can.
Yeah, if you want to just head
I won't need
towards.
to do it. It was going to be stupid. It was going to be hilarious. It was going to cause lots of trouble, but we're too close to the edge for it to happen.
If you guys just want to lead your horses out into the daylight that you can see ahead, you can certainly do so.
I continue apologizing as I was doing when I was making my way in and stepping on stuff. Because now that we know there are people in there who are shooting people. I mean,
Something drops at your foot as you apologize to the last tree before you exit. Like you're literally a footstep away from the exit. Something drops down at your foot.
It's a
Something
grenade.
silvery, catches the light real well. It's very shiny.
oh, lovely. I mean, I pick it up. See what
It is a silver piece of jewelry. It's got like a necklace chain on it, and it's got like a little long lozenge piece of silver, very shiny, very burnished piece of jewelry that just dropped.
Well, before I put it on, oh, I just put it on randomly. I don't chest to see if it's cursed or anything.
Yeah, just for your inventory purposes, it's just a 50 gold piece worth of jewelry, or silver jewelry.
All right.
Nice jewelry.
Oh, I mean,
Oh,
maybe I
we
feel
need
better.
silver. Is it pure silver? We could need that.
I mean,
It depends if he shows it to anyone. I mean,
I'm not expecting him to.
I mean, once we get sufficiently far away from the place, then yes, then I will be discussing it with. Well,
okay.
Once we get sufficiently far away, we'll heal Jenkins. And show everybody, hey, look, they gave me this, or I found it randomly, or both.
The chain is mostly silver. It's cut with something to make it strong, maybe copper. The piece at the end that was kind of like a lozenge is actually, now that you're out in the sun and looking at it, it's what would you call it? A half moon symbol of a half moon, and that's pure silver.
Oh well.
Can't remember what silver attacks, but it was useful to have some.
No,
Yeah,
I wasn't there.
did we leave the wizard behind somewhere? We left him in the Radnor's area, didn't he, eating? Or
I'm going to
something?
say, let's just say he stayed with Stoltheim for right now. Him and Stoltheim are getting buddy.
All right. I can't remember what we did with him.
Yeah, the big thing is he needed a source of food. He's trying to build up energy. That was a great place for him to get that. And with Stoltheim there, maybe he won't get into trouble. Or not.
He could have been eaten
that's
by
the law.
leeches.
He could have been.
Yeah.
You guys are out of the forest now. The further that you get from this dark, foreboding forest, the less that it affects you. Like it's a really nice summer, not quite summer actually, but nice sunny day. Just a little chill in the air. The further you get from the forest, the more everything feels normal.
We're still circling towards one.
Except for Jenkins, who's got a very thin arrow still jutting out of his neck.
I'm looking like one of those NPCs from Skyrim.
No,
No, that's
you-
him
Right
in the
after
knee.
a battle.
well, I mean, now that we're sufficiently far away, let's treat the injury. I say, handing him a ring. Put this on for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, take the rip the arrow out of your neck. as
Rip
well.
the arrow out while he wears the ring,
Yeah.
so you don't kill
Pull it
him.
out so that-
All right.
Yep.
The first thing that you notice is that it's not an arrow. It more closely resembles a crossbow bolt, or it was fired from a very small bow. Could be either one. The haft is made of the same dark wood as the trees of the forest. The feathers are fletchings from maybe a crow or a raven, perhaps. But the arrow tip itself is silver.
I don't know if this is worth anything, but it's yours.
Well,
I mean, he's got your blood all over it, so I guess it's yours.
I mean, so is that leech scarab thing back in there as well, whatever they were called. You can
Oh
claim
yeah,
that
can
as
you
well.
pull that out, please? Can you pull?
so
out
I might be confusing this with something else, but aren't like Fae allergic to silver or something?
Fae are, elves aren't.
I was gonna say, isn't that cold iron?
Yeah,
Not silver?
we perform a nice hot bath, but cold will.
Ah, well. Oh, yeah, okay. So as I said, I ripped the arrow out and I gave you a ring to put on temporarily.
Temporarily.
And it will heal up all your hit points.
Awesome.
Then you give me the ring back. Otherwise, I threaten you with the arrow.
So it's not Faye?
No,
Well,
no. It's
well,
not.
the arrow itself is not something your Fae would be using typically.
Yep.
I need to apologize back.
Who said pixies? Was that you, Jameis?
Yeah.
It's too large for that. Like, it's the size of like a crossbow bolt, but it could easily
Oh.
be just from a smaller bow, but still too large for, say,
Oh.
a pixie.
Yeah, okay. Some weird owls then. Stop
And
being
it could
weird
just be-
owls, you weird
It
owls.
could just be humans.
It could be
You just
halfling.
can't do things right. I suppose. Hold on. Is it? It's not big enough for me, right? It's not appropriate for a halfling size, is it? Because
No,
there were halflings
it
in this
literally
area.
could be a crossbow bolt. It's the size of a
Anyone
crossbow
who can use a
bolt.
crossbow.
It's just most crossbow bolts are thick and stunty because they don't, because of the impact, right? This is very delicate, but it's the same size as a crossbow bolt.
Eh,
I mean,
oh well. A mystery for another day, or for Lion to get shot at when he follows our tracks. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Shot
One of
by,
the-
not shot at.
So you continue on. So you're kind of cutting in between 4 and 5. You said.
Yeah, we're still heading towards 1 because we still want to check it out.
Okay, so
we're, circling
this-
2.
So yeah, this tract of land again it's farmable. It's got good soil, but you don't come across a single farmstead until you get towards like the very edge, right before you could go to either 1 or 4 at this point, kind of like at that edge right there.
Right.
There is a single 1-story dirt house. So like they've used sod to cover the sides of the house and the roof with. Are you guys familiar with this? Where you cut up a rectangle of grass and then you use that as insulation on the outside of a house. Yeah, so it's a sod house. It has a clay fire pit coming out of the roof, and there is smoke coming out of it. There's a small garden nearby. You see a small wooden pen that's got one goat, just one single, very fat, happy-looking goat that's got
Lonely
fresh
goat.
vegetables thrown down in its pen.
Could the goat have
Well,
operated a
you
crossbow?
burn that down, I'll be back in a minute.
What do you want to do, Jameis?
He's going to be right back.
Oh, okay.
Well,
There's a small wood pile on the outside with an axe buried into a stump. You can see somebody was recently cutting wood. Some of it's piled, some of it's on the ground. You don't
Is that
see
funny?
anyone, but it gives every evidence that there might be someone within.
what sort of person? Or how big is it? Is it halfling sized? Is it human sized?
Well, now that you ask, the door frame that's on this sod house is a little short for a human. Like an average sized human would have to duck to enter.
Look at our party. Hello, the house. Hello. Hello, the goat as well, just in case you are the sentient one.
And the goat looks up at
Sapient
you
one. I don't
as
know
it
whichever
chews on a
one.
bit of carrot.
No,
Just
all right.
looks at you. There's no response from inside.
Well, I guess we claim this house now. I'll go over, I'll knock on the door, and then if nobody answers, I'll go in. Just to
Okay.
look around.
You knock on the door. There's no answer. You turn door knob. The door isn't locked. You open it, and there's the largest halfling or hen you have ever seen. But it's obviously one of your own kind. He's just very tall for your kind. He's like a good foot taller than you, very broad of shoulder. He's got this long, scraggly beard that goes down halfway over his stomach, which is pretty prodigious. He's just got a pair of overly tight pants on. He's bare chested, and he's got a skillet going on. This clay stove, and he's humming to himself really loud. You can see that there's like a walking stick nearby. You think that he's either missing a leg or he's lame of leg. Because there's his left leg looks odd. Let's just put it that way. It looks odd. It's overly large compared to the right. Also part of what's making his pants awfully tight. No recognition that you've entered the room. His back is to you.
I shout, "Hello!"
He just continues singing.
All right, then I guess I will tap him on the shoulder. And
Oh, he's
stand
tapping
back
on the
so that he
shoulder.
doesn't.
He whirls around with his iron skillet. Make me a d6.
As I said, I should have. Well, I see a 1 this
Are
time.
surprised.
Ah.
Big frying pan to the face.
Do I stumble back into a rake, which I stand on, it springs up and hits me in the back of the head, and then
You were already starting to recoil, so it just sizzles the top tip of your nose for a point as you step on back. His eyes are wide. You've caused him to throw the lard and the eggs out of his pan as he's wielding it like a mace, and he's pointed at you, and his eyes are really wide. He's like, "Who are you?"
no, my eggs, your eggs. I don't know.
What?
Somebody's eggs.
What's that you say?
Scrimbleshanks. You must have heard of me. I'm amazing.
I don't need to buy no
Italian.
shanks. What are you doing in my house?
I don't know.
Do you
I
have
really
weapons
don't know.
out?
We're
Or
just
are you,
investigating the land. I.
do you have weapons out, or are you fairly non-threatening at this point?
No, I don't have any weapons out at this
Okay.
point. Because
He's hold on a minute. He reaches down and he picks up this big like cone
true.
type of
Alright.
thing. He holds it up to his ear. And says, "Say that again."
Ow, my nose. And then, hello, I am Scrimbleshanks. You must have heard of me. Daring Halfling. No? Yes?
He looks you up and down and says, "I thought she'd be taller."
I don't get that often, I must confess. Oh, well.
All right, so the rest of you Scrimbleshanks have gone inside. He's shouting like nothing bad. He's just shouting really loud. What you doing here? You looking for food, shelter? I got some of both. You don't get visitors often.
Just looking.
You ain't a tax man, are you?
Good news. I have done a deal with the lord of this area, newly claimed, so you will not be taxed for the next 2 years.
So if you come back in 2 years, I ought to kill you then. All
I'm
right.
not coming back. Somebody else might, but not me. We're just exploring these lands for the new lord.
New
So-
Duke, huh? Well, come on in. Just making some food.
I mean, I'm already in.
Come
We've
further
got other
in.
people, I guess.
Have a seat.
I'll
There's
go
no
wave
place to
them in.
sit, by the way. there's some stumps that are set around. You assume that's what he sits on. The shack has just a dirt floor. He's got a cot strung up between two of the walls.
No, looks good to me. I will sit on one of the stumps and
Yeah,
shout at the
he's-
others to come in.
Slides you
Come and
off
sit
a
on the
couple of
floor.
eggs and some ham or pork onto a plate. Hands a plate to you. Starts cooking up some more.
If nobody else is coming in, okay, I'll sit here and eat a nice breakfast.
You see, you got friends. How many plates I need?
I said I got traveling companions. Well, I didn't say that. I said friends.
Oh, it's like that, is
Well,
it?
There's 3 more outside. They don't appear to want to come in. I shouted at them to come in, but nobody's coming in. So don't bother to cook them any breakfast. They can just wait outside with the goat.
Radnar the goat staring at you. He's staring hard at you.
I
Beady,
stare back.
cold eyes. That's the cold eyes of a murderer staring at you.
I stare back at the goat.
Continues to chew its carrots, staring at you.
I'm going to chew something. I'm sure I've got something in my pocket I can chew.
The wizard that stares at goats.
Yep, that's
All
right.
right. So Scrimbleshanks is inside. Seems to have made contact with someone. He's shouting really loud, though. Very common things, but he's doing it loudly.
I mean, that is how I do most
Yeah,
of the
well, this is true.
talking.
Well, Galen, Jenkins, you guys do anything?
I'll go in eventually. Ducking. Actually, I don't know if I need to duck into the
Yeah, just a little. I mean, you're not as tall as an average human, but you'd still have to duck just a little bit as you cross the threshold.
Yeah.
Plate of eggs and some ham are put in your hands just right away by this very stout, tall halfling.
Cheers.
So it is halflings. Well, first and foremost, if when I do go in, I do apologize because I thought they were Fae.
What?
I apologize.
What'd you do? My goat's fine, right? If you hurt my goat.
I ain't hurt no goat. It'd be a goat. The most a goat would do is ram me, but that's a goat. You don't.
He's shifty as hell, but he's fine.
Yeah, well, he's lonely. He's been looking for a mate for a while. Maybe he fancies you.
Oh my fucking god.
That's not going to end well.
That would not end well. Please no.
Come in. Have some food. These eggs come from Henrietta. She's the last of my laying hens. She's good for an egg a day. Yeah, it's good stuff. This pork was Priscilla. We put her down yesterday. That's all right. She got to be a right bitch there towards the end. So, it is what it is.
Got a name there, old timer?
Yeah, I'm Eldon. You more the new Duke's men? Or is it a baron? What the hell do we have the rules over this place anyway? We got a king now? Are we that big?
The local area has the baron. We don't have him with us. And then the duke has the whole country, except for the one next door who's a different duke. I don't know. I don't keep track. I can't remember. Is it a duke next door or is it a baron next door?
It's politics. I stay out of it. You leave me and my little parcel of land alone, I'll leave you alone. You want to tax me? Well, you can have some eggs. Here, have some more eggs. There we go. I'm paid up for the year. What you apologizing for then, son? He shoves a plate in your hand there, Jenkins.
Yeah. Nom. I politely start eating. I don't know.
Damn fool way to start a conversation by apologizing for nothing.
Well, I thought you were someone else. I pissed off someone out in the forest.
Oh, you've been to the forest, huh?
Yeah. Wait. We're not in the forest still, are we?
No. You've left it behind.
Okay. I'm brain damage. I'll just chalk it up to brain damage.
Well, I hope you didn't hurt any trees while you're in there. Them shadow walls will keep a grudge like no one's business, let me tell you.
Oh, I apologize to the tree almost immediately. I did think the elf. I did thought the elf or whatever the fuck was in there was a fae, so I immediately told it to go fuck itself because I don't like fae.
Anybody that's got any reason to know local lore or history of this continent can go ahead and make me an intelligence check. It would be book learning for the most part, so you'd have to read a book on it. If you think that might be you can make an intelligence check.
Well,
I read a book.
Yeah. As an elf, yeah, you can roll it. You can roll it.
I'm not going to bother. No. Oh, I came so close to knowing something, but no.
Yeah, you've never heard of a shadow elf before, Galen.
Just for the funny, since I am a native, could I
Yeah.
roll intelligence? Sure.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
don't think
Bill,
I'm
did
gonna
you roll?
high.
Sorry. Here
Oh.
we go.
Oh, wow, Jenkins actually knows what a shadow elf is. All right. Yeah, I mean, you've heard of them. That's a low success for both of you. You guys have heard of them. I mean, it's a variant of elves. They're not to be confused with dark elves. They do not dwell underground. They are not part demon. They are just another branch of elves. They tend to worship the moon and the twilight. They hunt at night. They're very good nocturnal hunters. They typically live in treetops, much like the Corelli elves do. But they are very good at staying hidden, especially within trees and forests that they know well.
So, are they moon elves? Is that another name for them, I guess?
Could
Or are
be. I'm sure that local customs might call them that occasionally as well. Very protective of their wood, but they're not seen as a threat outside of that unless you try to take their wood.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was right there.
Sometimes they'll come out here and trade with me. He kind of upends like a little wooden bowl, and you see a whole bunch of like silver, various silver items, silver arrowheads, silver pendants, things like that. This is what they pay in.
There's a silver mine around here somewhere.
They probably have a source of silver. That's probably where they're getting it.
What'd you say, Jameis?
Do you mind if I have a look at that?
Oh, yeah. He pours what is his collection into your hand. There's maybe a couple dozen pieces of silver in here.
Pure silver?
Yeah, it's all pure silver.
Damn.
What do you want for this?
Yeah, I just use it to trade out for things as I need it. Some flour here and there. What's it worth to you?
I have no idea. What's it worth to me?
He kind of scratches his head and says, well, this would buy me maybe 10 sacks of flour.
I just offer him 50 gold.
That'll do it. That's exactly the price I was thinking. Thank you, sir.
Galen doesn't care about money. There we go. And I've now got some pure silver, which might be able to do something.
Yep. A good half of them are already arrowheads. The other half are small bits of jewelry. They seem to be very plain affairs. Most of them have like a moon motif. Mostly all the waxing moon or crescent moon or waning moon, crescent moon.
We'll do something with that later. Someone remind me that we can do something with it later to make. I can't remember what we needed silver against, but we needed it for something. So this will be useful.
You're not thinking of Strahd, are you?
No, it came up last.
Yeah, the Western had something about the silver being useful to affect. I think the evil creatures didn't like silver or something. It was a way to detect shape changes or something. So yeah, we needed silver.
Oh, okay.
Silver. Okay.
Well, you're all fed well. He doesn't have a lot of room, but if you need a place to stay the night, you're welcome to. You can lay on the floor. It's pretty safe hereabouts. The Shadow Elves keep peaceful. We used to get some giants to come over the mountains, but the Shadow Elves, they're trees between me and the mountains, so they tend to take care of any giants that come out this way.
Wait, aren't we in 4?
Well, you were in 2. That's where the forest is, and then you headed. You're about right here. You're at the crux between 1, 4, and 2.
Okay, because there's mountains to the southwest of you.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably, the forest doesn't encircle you. It doesn't go all the way around.
The forest kind of creeps along the top edges of 2 and the border of 3.
Right, so it protects you from that mountain to the north, but not the other mountains.
Not the one to the south.
Oh, we don't know what's in one yet. That might be protecting that.
Well, it might be, but I was just checking that we weren't like in the center of a giant forest and we're just like reached a century.
Congratulations, you're in the eye of the forest.
Exactly. Yes.
Nope.
We recommend
Forest
that.
ended.
All right. And no giants or anything come marauding from the southwest of you, like from those mountains over there.
Not in his recollection. He's
Okay.
kind of retired here several years now. It's been peaceful.
Well, what did you do before you retired?
Well, I was one of the most unsavory lot on this world. I was an adventurer.
Oh, not one of those.
Oh well. We can't all be storytellers like me.
Yep. He does, in fact, is missing his left leg from like mid-thigh down. He's got a prosthetic that's been lashed to him, just enough that he can hobble. Essentially, it's a peg leg, but it's been crafted to look like a leg, and it has a joint right at the knee.
Couldn't afford the magics to get it repaired. Okay.
Well, no, we tried. We had a fair amount of gold back in the days. We had a cleric and a mage give a try at it, but whatever. Well, the thing that caused the wound took my leg. Didn't seem to want me to grow it back. All the magics failed. One of my buddies was an artificer, and he kind of shows you the strapping that goes to the leg and the fact that the joint in the ankle and the knee moves. He built this for me. It's passed on now these past few years, but he did a great job. I move around just fine. I can walk miles on this stump.
It's not made of pure silver or something.
It's wood. It's wood and leather straps.
Okay, it's fine. Can you tell us anything about this local area? As I say, we're working for the Lord, mapping it out, etc.
Well, as I said, it's kind of quiet here. It's peaceful as long as you leave the shadow elves alone. Or if you go in there, be mighty respectful to the woods. Don't set anything afire. Don't take anything but fallen wood. I will say there are some creatures in there you want to avoid. It's filled with large spider. These bats that got really long, blood-sucking beaks, and many of the mushrooms there. Well, most of the mushrooms there are poisonous. Some of them expel spores. And obviously, you guys didn't roll a 1 on a D10 as you were traveling, or you would have experienced more of these.
Do you know anything about that way? I say pointing towards 1.
Towards 1? Oh, yeah, there's a fairly large settlement out there. That's where I go to trade when I need a new pig, which I'm going to need shortly here. Got my hens from them. That goat just came down off the mountains, made its way through the damn forest somehow. He's awfully ornery, but I keep him fed, and he's all right. He's good company. There's a fair number of folk out there that are doing. So that's a 4 population, or excuse me, it's 130 in population. It's a 4 in income. So that's probably forestry and maybe some mining, since it's right up against the mountains there. But yeah, he'll tell you that there's a small mine there. I hear tin and copper mostly. Sometimes they've come back with a little bit of silver, but it's a small concern. Mostly that's timber. Frontiers folks out there, good folk. They'll trade. And they'll take gold and silver. They've been taking my shadow elf silver for a while now. They're very happy when I come into town paying with that. I think they're fleecing me, but they're good folks overall.
Hey, it's a living.
Get out there tomorrow morning if it's not tomorrow morning yet.
Well, if you're around and charting out your territory for what is it? What did we decide on? Is it a duke? It's a baron?
Duke in a larger sense, baron in a local sense.
Oh, okay. Well, you're baron then. If he's trying to chart things out just south of here. There's one large village. It's walled. The walls were there probably ancient times, and they just kind of shored up, fixed up all the holes, and built their village in it. And a good thing that they did. I would skirt away from there if you're trying to do business. They keep to themselves inside their walled city. They've got a lot of problems out that way.
What kind of problems?
You got a clan of giants just off the hills there. They used to maraud and raid through that territory until they decided to just move their village inside those walls and patch up the walls. But it's difficult to go through the South Passage. You're liable to get boulders thrown at you. Merchants avoid it. They go around. They go the long way. When the loggers need to get their wood, they go the long way. Just completely avoid that area.
I would say you might have had people come from Threshold over that way, but not if there's going to be giants in the way.
Oh,
No, Threshold. That's the foresters there. They usually there's a mountain pass that goes through Threshold, and they'll often sell their lumber directly there. Just another way to bypass having to go through the south area. It's very treacherous. I understand the city that's there is doing quite well. They're well defended, but they don't get a lot of outside folks coming to sell stuff, and they don't get out very much either. It's dangerous to go in or out.
So are you saying we shouldn't go through 4, or we shouldn't go through that brown hex next to it?
He's talking directly south, so 4. Yeah, he's the area of
Shouldn't
4.
go
Like, well, if I were to break up this here map into hexagons, and we'd say these hexagons are about 8 miles in size, and we numbered them, you see, from 1 to 13.
I'm just trying to clarify which direction he's saying don't go
He's saying
through.
4 is bad. It's like almost in the middle of that province is a large. It's more than just a village. Like, it is a proper city, but it's very insular because of the problems that they're having in the surrounding terrain.
Well, the cat rate will go when we come to that next week. And that'll be Stuttelon's problem. For now, we're heading towards 1.
Like I said, good folks there. If you've got anything to trade, although you don't look like properly kitted out for merchants, but it's a good place. Several large villages. They do a lot of trading with Threshold. Good folk. Don't recollect there being any problems out that way, but it's been months since I've been there.
We'll find out.
Yep.
You want to cut 2, or?
It's up to you if you want to stay here the night or not. It is, I mean, each of these hexes 8 miles. You can, over that kind of terrain, you can travel 8 to 10 miles in a day fairly easily, but it has been most of a day now at this point.
Stay with your fellow hen?
I wouldn't mind staying here, yeah, for the night. I mean, there isn't a lot of space in here, and even with you guys being so much taller, you can all sleep. I'm sure you could sleep outside. I mean,
well, the goat would like some company. If anybody,
I was going to say, Randall could go and sleep with the goat. I mean, sleep alongside the
goat. Yeah, I think maybe not.
Right. Well, I wouldn't mind staying here and for the night and talking to.
Galen would be happy to sleep outside because that's what he does.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Well, Scribbleshanks, if you want to swap tales with them, yeah, he came out of the 5 Shires originally too. He was one of those that were looked down upon because he had strange ideas of wanting to travel and not immediately settle down and start a family and all that. He wanted to see the world, and he's explored. He has been to the other continent where the Trollodarians or the Phaeacians came from. He served in their armies for a while. He came over not with Duke Stefan, but with the second wave, the people that came in, all the professionals. Duke Stefan had a call for craftsmen and others. He came along in that second wave, and he's just been making his way through the territory since. And he just found his way here. It's a good, safe place. He built this little home of his and just been living here by himself.
Oh yeah, I will pump him for as much information as I can to learn all of the things that he's done over his life and where he's been and what their customs are like and everything. Because that is
Oh yeah, he will tell
knows,
stories
yeah.
long into the night. Maybe it's a cultural thing, and maybe that's why Scribbleshanks can talk so much, just vomits words. But no, he's a great storyteller. But he tells about battles. He tells about things that he's discovered and found. His unusual size actually comes from taking an awful lot of potions. One of his adventuring companions was a wizard that liked to experiment with potions.
Yeah,
And
drink
he,
this.
yeah, yeah. Because of his unusual constitution, he was a great test animal.
Yeah. The wizard I'm with likes to see liquids coming out of people rather than going into them.
It's a hobby. Yeah.
It's a hobby. Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys talk far into the night. The home is warm and cozy. There's not a lot of room, but you guys get a great night's sleep for those of you that need sleep. Once your conversation ends, Scrimbleshanks, and he does fall asleep as well, you find why he wants the isolation. He screams most of the night, just enthralled in nightmares. He convulses on the floor. He's talking to people that aren't there. If you try and wake him during this, he'll settle down for a while, but when he gets into deep sleep again, he starts just screaming and yelling and writhing on the floor. Come morning, none of you have had a great night of sleep unless you wanted to go outside and sleep. The goat still needs a companion.
Now,
He thinks nothing of it come morning. Like, he has no idea. He goes through that every night. He cooks breakfast for everyone, sends you on your way.
So he has no idea he's done that, but he wants to live out here alone.
Yep. Probably he's been forced out of every other.
Exactly. Nobody has said, "Hey, do you know you do this during the night? Maybe you should see a psychologist."
Might need a doctor for that.
Yep.
That's a soft science. Nobody believes that, Hooey.
That might be
what my next character is going to be.
That might be
Drink
some.
psychologist.
That might be some deeply repressed trauma that I can see there. I'm gonna be real. Most
We can
people.
see your repressed trauma, he says, pointing to the dent in your head.
I can't help it if folks can't take a little bit of snoring.
Snoring, I can bear. But you were literally screaming. I have not heard anything this loud since my father got his third wife, okay?
You guys kind of get the idea that he knows, but he just doesn't want to do anything about it. He's like, wuss.
Well.
He does ask if you happen to come back this way and you feel like it and want to bring him back a pig. He'll pay for it. He's got all this gold now. Save him a trip. But yeah, other than that, nothing happens tonight other than him.
Radnor?
yeah.
What would happen if you cast polymorph other onto, like, a squirrel and turned it into a pig? Would it remain a pig?
Yes.
Like, after...
No, once you kill it, it turns back into a squirrel.
Okay, so you can't solve food problems that way. Oh, well.
You could technically turn something into a cow and still be able to milk it, though.
Here's the issue with that. So there's a major issue. To milk a cow, the cow has to be pregnant.
Would I be able to, like, turn something into a miniature cow? Like, turn a cow into a miniature cow and then throw it at somebody?
Yeah, you have to keep so like it has massive penalties on polymorph if the creature is too much larger than the creature that you're transforming.
Right.
But yeah.
It goes from a cat to a fucking squirrel.
All right, unless you guys want to do anything else here, yeah, he sends you back with some provisions. He's got some cheese and bread that he usually travels with. He makes sure that you guys have provisions for, your trail, and bid you have a good one. If you happen to come back by this way or plan on coming back through this way, yeah, he'd appreciate a pig. He's got to replace his pig. I mean, you got a good portion of that pig in your stomach still.
Fair.
All right. Well,
Got a good home. Yeah.
thank you. I mean, don't forget the name's Grimbleshanks.
I
He was
will
the one
not.
who
He
arranged
mutters
the-
to himself yet again. I thought you'd be taller.
Where are we going now? People who are leading on? Oh. Yes, you didn't get a good night's sleep, did you? And you don't even sleep.
Galen was outside, so he wasn't inside.
I didn't keep you from hearing the screaming.
No. Yeah. Unfortunately, cure disease and remove cures doesn't work on the psychiatric ailments.
That's more mind-altering stuff, and that's
Yeah.
is black magic.
I do wonder if you could use ESP to get into someone's mind and maybe do something that way, but that way lies more about mental health than the people of this game designer ever thought of.
Yeah. All right, where are we headed now, everybody? I don't know where we're going.
Due west.
Due west. All right. That way. Whoops.
Okay.
Sorry. I turned around and headed in the other direction. That way. Yeah.
Immediately coming into this new area, you travel, like quarter of a day across the territory line. There's already immediate signs of heavy forestry. There are deep-rutted wagon trails leading back and forth. You can see many groupings of villages just in the horizon ahead of you. None of them look particularly large, but there's a lot of small settlements that have just kind of sprung up around a logging operation, right? So like these are temporary villages that are set up to house the people that are logging in a particular area. They break it down, they move it as they get into new territory. That's what you're seeing. These are as far as you can tell, these are all local. These are all Trolladaran folks that are here doing this work. There are a fair number of carpenters as well. Actually, like you can see folks have like basic necessities like chairs, tables, that sort of stuff, just kind of laid out in front of their buildings where they're making use of the wood that's being pulled down, that's not being sold along. There's a stonemason here as well. Looks like he's got a big grindstone, so he's keeping tools sharp and useful. Selling a few other things on the side, but again, small little villages, maybe a dozen homes, a couple of semi-permanent houses. Like all of them have a beer house. They all do to make local brews, just to keep the workers happy, sort of thing. So pick any one of them you can wander into and ask your questions, figure out what's going on here. Very industrious folks, very hard, lots of heavy, hard labor through the days have made them very tough, very strong folk. But you hear the merriment coming out of the ale houses, even this early in the day. People come in, have a few beers, laugh with their friends, go back to work, probably get their arms cut off, drunk. You know how it is.
I mean, what does it matter when there's magic? Just reattach it.
Well, they're not reattaching though. That's the point. Look at the hen we just passed.
They had something special happen to them.
Oh, Scribbleshanks, here's your ring back.
Okay.
Actually, that is a good question. Let me check something real quick. So what level is...
Regrow limb doesn't exist as a spell.
Well, no, there is a particular thing that will allow you to heal past injuries.
Not likely anything we've got access to, because that would be a cleric spell. But,
yeah.
There's nothing in the BX normal book. It might be in the more advanced stuff, but there's nothing. We can raise dead, we can kill them and bring them back to life, and hopefully they might get a new body that way. Yeah. But no, otherwise the best you've got is Cure Serious, and that just talks about hit points. It doesn't say anything about injuries or anything like that.
It probably would be the effect of Cure Serious. will be able to regenerate a limb, because there's nothing really in the system that will allow you to lose a particular limb. It's more of a flavor
Yeah.
thing. But I would say
Yeah.
that's Cure Serious, which would make that a 4th level spell, meaning no one
Yep.
can cast it.
I can. No, 1st level we can't cast.
Oh, that's right, 5th level, yeah. But there are still
4th
remarkably few clerics that can do 4th level
Yeah.
spells. So it would be very expensive to have someone to do it. So most people probably couldn't afford to have it done.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing Galen just throws around with it. Oh, I feel like a spell. Yeah, whatever. Just give me a couple of hours afterwards.
I mean, why would it be very expensive?
Well, I mean, if you had a
Yeah.
local cleric, probably not. You're right. But
Yeah.
local village cleric would never be that high of a level unless they were a retired adventurer, which is possible.
At best, you might be able to go to like a temple far away and buy a scroll for future use, and that will not be cheap. I can't remember how much scrolls cost, but they'd charge quite a bit for the scroll.
Yep.
Whereas Galen just hands them out. Oh yeah, sure. Just give me a while to get it back. Boom, done. Here, have one.
Wow. Well, that is all academic and interesting. I say, picking up somebody's arm and throwing it over my shoulder. Bye. It's just somebody just left a limb in the street. Well,
So we'll say you wander into random village that you choose to walk into. This one in particular has a house of healing. Like it's you've seen these in several villages. It's kind of a nod to the old time religions. They don't advertise that they're still worshiping the original Trolladaran gods. It's not that it's looked down upon. It's just because of there's so many Thaatians that want to be spreading their religion. The larger villages tend not to like advertise that they still follow the old faiths. So they have like subtle nods. Like if you're local, you kind of know by looking at the way the center of worship is designed, like which cardinal directions the doors face. Does it face the rising sun? Does it face the, it's things like that. So this is definitely this is a service center, if you want to call it that, of the old faith, and they have tents set up outside of them. There's a lot of infirmed people, enough that it's overflowed this sizable place of worship that they've had to set tents out on the outside.
Sounds usual.
I mean, it's not the mysterious sickness, no, because that made them argumentative and
It just made them itch from fleas.
yeah, and then beat each other to death. So that's not going to be it. Great, another mysterious plague. I'm glad I'm not the Duke of this land. Whatever.
Yep. So that is the unusual thing that you're seeing. Otherwise, this village looked pretty much like all the ones you passed to get here, except this. So the other villages look fine. They weren't having the same problem. This is just the one you picked to investigate, and it is having a problem.
That's the one where the PCs are needed. Well, PCs can make a problem.
Please, sir, will you end our miserable existence with a fireball?
Don't do that, they will.
It's tempting.
If they're miserable existence or not, they'll just throw fireballs around.
It's the only way to be sure. Just fireball it out.
Can't be bothered opening a door, fireball.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What do you guys want to do? So it's it's late afternoon when you settle on this village.
Say hi, hello, we're Dukes, man. What's going on here then? What's all this then?
You wander in. No, it's not a disease. These people are physically wounded. Some of them, it looks like they're bad burns. Man, you guys are used to various spells. Acid. Some of them have like disfigured sides of their face where the flesh is partially melted. Some of them are missing whole digits on their hands where the flesh has been melted down, and they're just having to essentially cut the bones that are remaining off and cauterize the flesh. There's 50, 60 people all showing various degrees of this maiming.
Good, let's spread our rings around and completely ruin the economy.
I know if you ask one of the attendants, who's just kind of just putting salves and what they can on the wounds, you can tell a lot of it is just to deaden the pain. Some of it is just to try and preserve the flesh that's left by moisturizing it. And just nonchalantly, they say, "Dragon." Yeah, we ran into a dragon.
Oh, we're getting around here, do you?
Oh, it happens now and then. Shame to see so many wounded. We got a holy man that we're sending for. He's probably going to be here sometime. Hey, are you the holy man?
I'm a holy man.
No, we sent for one from Threshold. They've got.
Oh, right. No, I'm not that one.
Can you lend a hand? We got several folks in pain, needing some healing.
Hand
Folks
off to
have
you.
lost
Okay.
eyes and hands and legs.
Yeah.
So you hear, you just hear the tale as you're going around doing what you can. Just mark off all of your healing spells if you're going to do that. You're a ranger, so you've got some like basic healing skills as well, like knowing what roots and things that would dull pain. So you can help with that. So they started working on a new wood site, and the land was a little swampy, but they didn't really expect anything out of that. Unfortunately, there was a black dragon layered there. Black dragons are the most common dragon that you will run into in Karmikos in this area. That or greens, but so they got into a dragon's territory. They had no warning. Generally, there are signs, or other folks will talk about having sightings of dragons. Total surprise to this group. So this was one 50-man forestry team. Most of them got out alive. Some of them died, but not one of them got out without having some damage done to them.
Hey, Redmore, how do you feel about a black dragon nest?
No offense, I don't think we can fight a black dragon.
We've already done so.
Yeah. Several, I think.
Oh.
We've been around a while. Yeah.
Well, my character doesn't know that, so he's just
you
absolutely. My character is too low level or too low intelligence to even think about fighting a fucking dragon. Absolutely
Last time
not.
I got myself swallowed by one, so I can explode it from the inside or something.
Black dragons. That's a Tuesday. I mean, they're very not. I mean, this is unfortunately part of what comes with being a forester in a mostly wild area that have such things as dragons. It's it's horrible, but it's not entirely unexpected that things like this happen now and then. So you do what you can, Galen, but you've only got so many spells loaded that you can cast. So you do what you can. You help prepare some various salves and ointments that cut down on the pain, and you just kind of learn what went on. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Well, I was also interested in seeing the healing sort of thing that was going on there, just to work out what it was. I mean, will just slapping a ring of regeneration on them help in any way?
Yes, absolutely. If you wanted to do that.
Yeah. Next patient. Oh, this one looks too serious for me. Nah, I'm kidding. Here you go.
Make me a luck check.
Low. Always low from me, I'm afraid.
Are you trying to do this obviously, like put this ring on, or are you just kind of like subtly slipping the ring on and then waiting and then taking it off?
No, hold still for a moment while I put this on your foot. No, I am doing it openly and obviously.
Okay, in which case, you do this several times before you start. People start noticing what's going on. So, like folks that have lost limbs, lost eyes, and of course they're regenerating due to this as well. They start clamoring towards Scrimble Shakes. Me next! Me next! No, me next! It starts a brawl, Scrimble Shakes, as these wounded half dead people are desperately trying to get you to help them next. What do you do about that? I mean, the people that are helping, the clerics that are helping, look, they're like, they're not sure what to do. They're trying to help you, like they're moving you away from the rowdiest of the bunch. But these are hard men that are used to getting what they want through force sometimes, and they're a problem. They're starting to become a problem. What do you want to do about this, Grimbleshanks?
Shrug.
Yeah,
Meh.
I don't
I
help
mean-
you. You're an ass.
Exactly. Pretty much. My ring, I get to choose.
Okay, I tell you what.
I mean, it's
I'm
not
going to
the
do
ring
it. I'm going to
finger,
let
but
the clerics do
give
it. I'm going to roll a charisma check here. Give me a second.
I can roll.
No, yeah. So they calm people down enough. It's like, look, we'll get to you. Like you should be thankful for this kind hen to come through here and help with the healing like this. Just wait your turn. You're not going to die in the meantime. That settles things down a bit, enough that you can continue on without being harassed. What are the rest of you guys doing? I'm sorry, Richard. Is there anything else you wanted to accomplish other than just helping in general?
I mean, I guess as these are hard people who have been out and about, then they will know more about the area as well. So just asking them about the area is doing that.
All right, yeah.
Is there a church area?
This is the church area that you're in now.
Okay. Is there stuff for my religion?
No, no one worships your religion.
Fucking, I will find a random goddamn village that worships it, and it's like two guys in a goddamn entire incest-fed community, and that will be it. And I know it.
They were teleported here on accident too, and they have no idea where they are. But by gosh, they're going to worship the Titans. No, these places are set up where you can worship whoever you want to. It's just a very general altar. Nothing that would kind of say that it's towards a particular god, etc.
Fair. Okay.
These have become very common after the Thaatians showed up. Like, people didn't want to give up their old gods, but they don't want to be seen as backwater either. So these kind of things have sprung up.
That is fair. I'll just what's the Titan? I have his name. I'll just worship Grupal, Titan of Creation. That should be good.
Okay, yeah. You go give offerings to your god.
I'm just not going to talk about his background.
Make me a luck check.
Oh, boy. That's something low. I'm just going to say low.
Okay.
God damn it.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. So that goes on. Bradnar, what are you doing while all this is going on?
Well, I'm going to be drinking.
Okay. There is a lot of alcohol, actually, because, of course, it's one of the cheapest, easiest things that you can give to someone to make them not hurt so much.
Yeah, I'm going to be just... I thought about doing some research, but, I don't have a lab here. I'm just going to drink.
Okay. Yeah, you find the tavern. You find the tavern. It's filled with hardworking loggers for the most part. There's a couple of professionals here. There's a blacksmith here that is taking a break for a brew. There are two merchants. They're both Derekeen. They seem to be making their way back through the pass this time of year. They've already sold everything they came to sell. So they really don't have any wares. They're just stopping here on the way through.
Oh.
So that's, it's pretty jovial. As you walk through the door, everybody raises their stein and just do a, and every time someone new walks through the door, everyone does that. They turn around with their steins and just make a howl of a hello.
I'll buy a round for everybody in the bar when I come in.
Oh, okay. It's cheap beer. 1 gold will go a long way.
Yeah.
They give you an extra loud hurrah.
I like it.
All right. Scrimbleshanks, what you find out, just kind of in passing, if you're asking about the area, You hear a lot of rumors about the big city in Hex 4. A lot of them are confirming what you heard from the hen, the giant hen. Folks listening, that is not hen as in chicken. The halflings in this world are called hen. What they've added to it is the people that live in this city have become very, very odd in their isolation. They really don't make it outside of their city, and they really don't like people to come into their city. So you're not exactly sure how this information got spread. And of course, they talk about the city is massive. There are a lot of people living in there. And they talk about that they've gone odd over the generations as they're interbreeding with families, the same families, etc. When merchants have tried to get into the cities, they've been fought off and not allowed in. Some of the other rumors that you're hearing. You've also heard the rumor that they worship a different god. They worship a living dragon that rules over the city. Not like one of these blacks or one of these greens, but one just a blue crystalline dragon that they worship as a deity is one of the rumors that you're hearing.
Oh, until you said blue crystalline dragon, I was thinking about the elder being that we met at the top. Well, I suppose
who definitely was never described as crystalline. So,
Do
I mean,
not
they could be,
tempt
though.
me. Do not tempt me to immediately abandon my gods for a new one. I fucking love crystal dragons.
look, everybody worship the shiny, glittery dragon. It's shiny.
Glittery dragons. Crystallized dragons are mostly neutral. They're fine.
It promises to be crystally and shiny forever. And it can deliver on that promise, unlike most gods. Yep.
Well, yeah, these are all rumors. None of them really conflict, but some of them seem really odd. Like, well, how would you know any of this if no one ever gets out of there? No one ever gets in there. You know?
I bet it's. My guess is there's probably. Like how Japan did it. They might be isolated, but there's probably like some trading groups that are permitted exclusively to go in and out so that they can do trade more.
What is this Japan you speak of?
What?
It's a mystic land full of vending machines and perpetual children that live.
My character doesn't say Japan. I will state that immediately. This is just OCC speaking. My character's probably not smart enough to think of that. Or at least wise enough.
All right, so Richard gets rumors. Jameis, you do anything else while you're healing and helping just to cut down on some of the pain? Once you see that Scrimbleshanks is passing the ring around, I mean, you can do the same to speed things up if you want. Yeah.
One thing I was going to do was lead them in actual services.
Yeah, if you guys are passing around magical healing, they're really interested in hearing what you got. Does your god have a pamphlet? Is there a newsletter that you can subscribe to?
They all worship the lady in some form or another around here.
You actually, you do garner a lot of respect from that. This is where you find out that the town, for the most part, do still worship the older gods. They haven't taken on the new Thaatian gods. The fact that you worship one of their gods goes a long way. Not to mention the fact that you just healed men who probably was the end of their careers without magical healing.
To come in and murder them all.
Yeah. So, that's how it ends for tonight. Then, guys, you found a village that you've garnered a lot of respect for in here. If you want to tell them that the new Baron, this is the kind of people that the Baron employs.
Is it worth us trying to attack this nest of dragons, or is it like, that's just a flavor thing and don't worry about it?
Well, so it's one dragon. It seemed to be an adolescent. Most of the damage was done because they were surprised. I mean, they have ways of dealing with dragons if they know that's what they're getting into, but there was no indication that a dragon had taken up residence there.
Rednor, do you want to go take out a dragon?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's still
that's
within this
all
province. It's still within this province, just to the south. It's actually not far from this village. It's how most of them got here alive.
I mean,
I've
we
just
can
seen-
either end up taking it out or like befriending it.
Is there any way we
Yeah.
can turn the
You.
dragon to our advantage? Do we need
Yeah.
an
We
acid
do have
producing
the
factory?
symbol still. We have the symbol still.
Yep.
I'm just
I
sure
think-
Randall will just go out, throw a fireball while he's still drunk and blow it up and then get back to drinking.
I think somebody rolled this before, just on general dragon lore. Black dragons are typically not as smart, although they're definitely as smart as a human being is. But they typically are very deceptive, duplicitous, not trustworthy. But I mean, they can be reasoned with. An adolescent one, though, is, well, I don't know. How well does it go? Negotiating with adolescent kids there, Bill. Do you have any idea? I don't know. You might have some firsthand experience with that. Is it easy?
I'm going to take advantage of the protections afforded to me by the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America.
I will say this as the brother of a small child. No, it's not. I think I would have an easier time breaking through a brick wall with my fucking head.
That's a good description. Yeah.
Then you'd have to
that'll
clean
work.
it up.
I look forward to the stream where you prove this.
Yeah.
I will not, in fact, do that. I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
Damn it.
So you guys have a few things open to you now. You could go take care of the Black Dragon to the south. You could visit this mysterious city that's in Province 4. Or you can wait around and see who's been being sent from Threshold.
Well,
As
we
there's
could
a
take
cleric
care
on
of
the
the
way.
dragon, then come. We could go to take care of the dragon, then come back and meet the threshold guy.
No, they'll be gone by then. In, out. We'll miss them.
Yeah,
You
you
can
got a
go-
small 5-minute window. Otherwise, that's it.
It's all the time I got for you. 5 minutes of healing, then I'm gone. I mean, your province doesn't even have a name on this map. Yeah. All right, we'll end it there, guys. Richard, you got anything going on tonight or the rest of this weekend?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Richard. I'm not here for a long time. I'm not here for a good time. I'm here for a mysterious third thing. Woo! If you want to learn what the mysterious third thing is, why, you can watch me play video games badly here on Twitch at LMTDTMFFR, or say it with me now.
Limited
Limited
Time
time
offer.
No vowels.
No vowels. A little bit better. A little bit better. Jameis, tell us all about your blog. Or not.
Oh
Jameis-
no, James is frozen.
Oh no!
James does a lot of fun things.
Help.
He watches films and gives reports on them. And what was the last one he did? He did Shazam just right today.
Check out his
Yeah,
videos
well,
of Fiji as well.
Yes, where he went off on holiday there. But hey, you can find him out at The Truth Behind. I believe it is.
Good stuff. There we go. If you found us, you know where we are, but check out the podcast site, Blue Magic, BLUMAGIK.com. There's 14 years with the podcasts on there. All the links to our social sites, including Discord, YouTube, all of that's in there as well. Bill, you got anything going on for the flogs, for the Frog Gods?
Well, when I'm not playing TTRPGs with my super cool, awesome friends like you guys, I'm running. I run Lost City Baracus over for the Frog God games. They're getting closer, and I also run a Dwaro Deep on alternate Wednesdays. If you want to get in, hit me up. I'll get you in the game.
All right, sounds good. Constantine, I believe, is an internet black hole with no social places that he wants to have out there because he has to hide them from his father.
That guy's
I'm sorry. I would rather not. I'm sorry. I will wait until I am out of college before I have to tell my dad to his face.
I mean, yeah.
From the internet.
How do you think he paid his way through college with that OnlyFans site? I mean, it's a thing.
Hey, there's a market for this, okay?
Awesome. All right, guys. Wave goodbye to everybody. Let's end this thing.
Bye,
Good
everybody.
night, everybody.
Bye.
Woo.